What's up with the new fam? It's your boy Brandon back at again for another podcast episode, guys. We are excited for this one. You guys cannot wait to see who we have here with us today, collaborating. We're excited for them and for what they do, and for their space here in the social media platforms and what they do to inspire and influence others here in our communities, especially Polynesian communities and church communities. But before we get started, guys, we are on all social media platforms. We are also on all listening platforms. So if you haven't heard already, we're on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we are on Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever you find your podcast, guys. There's no need for you guys to not listen to hear these gems. But yeah, guys, go ahead, listen. We're trying to hit 1,000 to 2,000 downloads a month, and that's only possible through you. So if you haven't already, go ahead, hit subscribe, hit download, listen to some good gems, because we guarantee that those things can help you up, and also you can take some beautiful words of wisdom with you wherever you go. But without further ado, guys, let's get our red carpet warm welcome to none other than out of TikTok, brother. What's up, bro?
What's good, my G? Thanks for having me on the Authentic Podcast. That was a very nice intro you did there, brother. Too generous, dude. Too nice.
We try, bro. We try. We're grateful for him and for what he does and for his social media platforms, guys. We'll give opportunity for him to introduce himself, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely, Brandon. Thank you for this opportunity. I echo your words. There's no excuse. You got to listen to the Authentic Podcast, right? Everyone's on social media, so you've seen the clips, but there's no chance that you've missed the Authentic Podcast. So let's get these guys to some more downloads. Elder TikTok, everybody. I'm a Afakasi Mormon from good old Utah yes, Valley, Happy Valley. I've been a content creator for coming up on 10 years now, and part-time UGC content creator plus business owner, and I just love making videos, brother. I just love it.
Love it, bro.
That's a little bit about me.
Yes, sir. Yeah, bro. If we, just first question, bro. I think the podcast, we love speaking about authenticity. You as a content creator, right? One of the biggest ones here in Utah, and also going around. Bro, like, talk to us about your journey and how you started and what made you, what made you, and what inspired you to go ahead and follow that dream, that passion of yours.
Absolutely. I'm very passionate about the things I love, right? I love the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I love anything with the camera, right? And so I essentially put those two things together because it's who I am, and it's what I love. I don't know do you know this name if I said it out loud? Ryan Higa?
Ryan Higa.
Do you know Ryan Higa? He was the very first Polynesian content creator that I heard of. Early days of YouTube.
Early days.
Yes, I would watch his videos. He small kind looks like me as well. And so I was like, dang, I want to do that too. And the reason I kind of started being this, call it persona, call it content creator, call it influencer, whatever you want to call it, was because I didn't see what I wanted to see on the internet. So I didn't see Polynesians making content. I didn't see cool church members doing stuff on the internet. So I said, why not become that? Like, if I'm complaining about something, why not actually do something about it? So that's how I kind of took on this lifestyle, I guess you could say, of being 100%. An LDS Polynesian content creator.
And obviously, like, it's probably evolved. Like, did you ever see yourself getting to where you're at right now?
No, bro. That's crazy you say that. I feel like my career has gone through phases, right? Where it started out off as a joke, just mucking around, and then it was like, oh wait, now I found a niche. Yeah. Wait, I can make money. Oh wait, businesses will pay you money to do stuff for them, right? So I never thought, I tried to play football. For those of you who don't know, I tried to play football, and that didn't really work out. And so I was better at making TikToks anyways. And so I never would have thought, obviously we're here in Hawaii with Brandon from the Authentic Podcast. I'm just trying to tell my story real quick. I got flown out here. Me and my business partner were getting paid to make content out here. Never would have thought that would have happened. Never.
That's crazy, bro. I feel like one thing that sticks out to me, what you said, like, you noticing that football, the route, and then the content route, right? Like, your ROI for the football, like, didn't see much, but like your ROI from the content, you're like, dang, like, we're gonna get, like, I can see this happening. And I think that's super cool. Like, you're evolving from content and creating into business. Like, I guess, what are some things that you've been, apart from this experience today, being here, like on this trip and everything, what's like a moment that you've had that kind of like gave you that moment of, dang, like, things are coming to fruition.
No, absolutely. And I think I notice things come to fruition when I'm going against obstacles and challenges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The content I make, it's funny, we're talking about authenticity. Every single piece of content I make, it's what I truly believe. And it's what I truly think. And sometimes when I do such things, it may come across as ulterior motives. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Whether it's like, oh, bro's cloud chasing, or he's doing this for the views and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of fakeness when it comes to content creation, right? Like putting on for the camera, essentially.
Yeah.
So my thing was, like, I'm gonna be myself regardless. I gotta be careful though, because I do have a certain audience, maybe younger audience as well, that kind of watches what I do from time to time. But when I notice things like actually happening is actually humanist interactions with people, like people who come up and express their gratitude for what I'm doing. Something to the extent of, oh, I could never do what you do, but thanks for doing what you do. Keep doing what you do. And you hear that from people all over, like in all spectrums, all backgrounds, all ages. So to hear that physically, not just from a comment, not just from a DM, kind of gives you that reassurance that you're doing something right.
Yeah. Because, like, and apart from, like, and everyone has seen other TikToks, his content, like, obviously people can come across as controversial, whatever it is. Like, and for you to say, like, that's actually something that you believe in, and like things that the content that you create, that's what you believe, like, that's unapologetic yourself. You know what I mean?
100%.
And I feel like those who are coming towards you and they see that, like, oh man, thanks for what you do, I could never do what you do. Like, do you feel like you're doing them justice, like, in terms of voicing their, like, because those are their opinions as well. Like, you're sharing their opinions.
True.
Who don't have the guts to, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's it. Exactly what I was going to get into, right? There is a small silent majority that thinks, believes the same way I do, right? But like you said, see, even what I'm about to say, like, I hope it doesn't come across as prideful or arrogant or whatever, but this is just facts. It's like, I want to be a voice for the voiceless, right? All those people who are telling me they agree with what I'm saying, they will never post on social media, or they won't bring it up to their family members. Why? Because maybe they're just a little scared. Me, whether it's a double-edged sword, like, I don't care what you think about me, bro. I'm going to say it. It's because I believe in it. And I know that as long as one person relates or helps, that means I did my job. And I'm not here to please the masses, even though a lot of my times when I do post about specifically church content, it's positive. I'm on the church's side. Like, but just because you disagree with something when it comes to your belief system, that doesn't automatically mean you can throw me to the wolves, right? Yeah. Like, we're still on the same team.
No, 100%. What are some, like, and then this is the thing I've always been wanting to ask, bro, is like, from you doing and saying what you believe, obviously you're on stand with the church as well, but at the same time, is like, do you, what do you, I'm trying to voice it out. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. It was a good question.
It felt like a good question.
No, what? Like, oh yeah. Have you, what are some challenges that you've had from our own members? That you've, you know what I mean? Because bro, like, in the church, we all believe, right? We have the basic belief system and what we want to believe. Obviously, Book of Mormon, everything, what the church stands for. But then you have people from your own religion that kind of throw shade, or like maybe like throw negativity your way for asking good questions that you believe in, conviction you believe in, because that's what you believe, but you're still wanting to find answers. Like, talk to us about those experiences.
I have a question for you. Ex-Mos, what does that mean? What's an Ex-Mo?
Ex-Mormon, people who left the church, right?
Okay. Do you think ex-Mormons left because of people outside the church or inside the church?
I think their own. I think they leave based on multiple reasons. Okay. Like, you know, like either someone offended them inside the church, or ex-Mormon content, right? Or people, like, they testimony. Biggest thing, I think, as well, testimony changed. Like, testimony gets kind of dwindled, or like something like that, or they
That's
start,
valid.
You know.
Me personally, I think majority of the time, Mormons turn away Mormons. I'm saying that the short nickname of the church just for just for it to be more easy. Latter-day Saints turn away Latter-day Saints more. in my opinion, because we put our faith into man. We're supposed to be loving. We're supposed to love thy neighbor. And so when somebody within the church does us wrong, we take offense to that super quick, super duper quick. All these members all the time sometimes are throwing shade at me. Right? But does that mean I'm going to get soft and leave the church? No, because what do we say as Latter-day Saints? Is Jesus Christ and the Spirit, how we listen, is it personal to us?
Yes.
Is our testimony personal to us?
Yes.
Is our connection with Heavenly Father personal?
100%.
So then if I'm saying something personal, then why would you take that this way or that way? You know what I mean? I'm just sharing what I think and believe. So for members to come at me when, they're either questioning my faith or they're questioning my motives, this is just straight up how I personally connect with the Almighty. Straight up. And if it's personal, people have to understand that your testimony is not my testimony, but our foundational core beliefs are on the same thing. The Book of Mormon, right? The Bible, the doctrines that we've learned since we were, all growing up in the church. Now, where we can break off and where we can, dare I say, disagree is some of the gray areas when it comes to the church. You know what I'm saying? But, there's probably stuff that Brandon thinks in his personal testimony that I believe as well, and then vice versa that I don't, So I just think, just a word of caution to members is if there's something off, or if you're not completely aligned with what the stereotypical testimony is, that's not a bad thing.
But why do you think we let that get to us though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like obviously we can agree, disagree. Like, would you say it's like people's like testimony at the same time, like if they choose to leave the church or whatever, like based on someone else's differences?
So repeat that one more time, please.
So like, what you just said, like I always, like, I agree with what you said, because at the same time I don't understand, and this is probably just because of me,
sure,
like why they choose to still leave, based off our own like different like judgments. Like maybe, let's just say, I'm not gonna say someone did, but let's just hypothetically said, for one of the TikToks, they decide, his opinion, whatever, like I'm gonna leave, like what?
Which is crazy if you do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy, but like, bro, that's what happens. People go down the rabbit hole, they get into ex-Mormon, anti-Mormon content, and they leave because of the stuff they found. Right? Here's what I'll say. Let me think about this real quick before Authentic get me in trouble.
No, you're good.
The only reason you should leave the church is if you've lost your testimony. If you no longer believe in the church, you are free to go. But if something happens within the church, if you disagree with the leader, if you got offended, or if you don't like something that humanness did, that doesn't validate you for leaving. Me personally, if you no longer believe in any of the teachings of the Mormon doctrine, you're free to leave. Other than that, bro, I think it's weird, in my opinion, to leave.
Exactly.
I think it's weird.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like I stay and I still disagree with stuff. You know how many more members come at me in my comments, and if I was soft, I'd be like, "Oh, they're being mean to me. My own people. I'm out of here." That's actually happened to a few content creators, and they used to be LDS content creators. Now they're ex-Mormon content creators, and they know who they are.
That's crazy.
Whatever that was to you, whether it was the clout that got to your head or whether you truly don't believe anymore, that's fine. But yeah, it's just some interesting stuff when you enter the world of Christian content creation.
I like that. I resonate with that, brother. Next question, bro. Like, content creation and ideas. Like, when you think of it, like, how does the creative, or how does the creation come to your mind? You know what I mean? Because like, there's some good content that you get out, and I'm like, dang, like that's pretty good. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, thanks.
Like, for example, like the most recent one, like the worship one. I was like,
oh,
I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, everyone, like how it went about. You know what I
mean? The reaction was very unexpected. But even if you've noticed, actually, you want to talk about creative directive, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Everybody knows, if you've been following my content, even the way that format was structured was way different than everything I've already done. So I try new things, right? Yeah. But if something comes to my head, call it the spirit or whatever, I'm like, oh, dang, let me make this video real quick. Let me try it. I don't know if you have the same idea, bro, but sometimes I get writer's block where I just can't come up with ideas. You know what I mean? So I need other creative outlets. But, bro, like, things just come to mind, and I try my very best to present it in the best way possible. Yeah. Right? Now, I'm learning as a content creator when it comes to, your hooks, 100%. Color. You were just talking about color grading, right? Your timing, your beats, the music. Like, people don't know how... Actually, maybe I'll ask you. Would you consider yourself a content creator? What do you consider yourself?
I'm considering myself a producer right now, like podcast producer, editor. Like, yeah, I can content creation. Like, I think I was behind the camera, inside the camera. Now I'm trying to like be in front of the camera. So that's kind of like on my way to content creation. I don't know, like just creating content. I like that in general. So,
is content creation easy or hard?
It's like one of the most difficult things I believe.
Really?
Well, like if from a scientific perspective,
correct.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm agreeing with you because people think we can just pick up our phones, pick up our camera, talk to the camera, and that's it. But why do you think so many Polynesians, okay, maybe I won't go so niche, why do you think so many people think they can do it and they burn out super easily? It's not easy, right? It is all a mindset, but bro, they're off camera, you don't see how much work goes into it, setting up. 100%. And then you got to edit all this after, brother. Exactly. Sorry. But see, and they just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 100%. So content creation, it's easier if you have the passion and drive for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So, but that's why, some of these companies, they don't want to deal with it. So there's people out here like myself and my business that will take care of it for them.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I know I kind of got off the...
No, you're good. You're good, bro. Like, this is perfect. Going back to, like, authentic, right?
Right.
And then we can change... We can go ahead and ask some questions. This is a good one. On the podcast, we like to focus a lot on setbacks and failures, right? And how we can change those to become positive, and like how we can upload in life. So, our question for you is, what is a setback and failure that you've been most grateful for?
Love it. And do you mind if I add my authentic philosophy real quick? I don't believe in setbacks, and I actually don't believe in failures either. I actually don't believe in sin either. The connotation of sin, right? We're talking about setbacks, failures, and those are what's it called? Those are also synonyms for sin, right? When you say you sinned, you messed up, right? A bishop of mine told me this not too long ago. Sin is just experience. So when I heard that, I'm like, that's so true, because without that experience, without that sin, without that setback, without that failure, you wouldn't have been able to be as strong as you are today, or you wouldn't be able to bounce back. Having said that, one of the setbacks, to use your lingo, or one of the experiences that I'll say, would actually be my football career, because I love football still to this day. I'm sorry you're a Raiders fan. You guys stole my quarterback. You guys stole my quarterback and my old head coach. Do you know who my team is now?
No, I don't.
Okay. You don't know who your new quarterback is?
I like this hat, but
that's crazy.
I'm a Buccaneers fan, though.
Got you. So I'm a Seahawks fan. Anyways, but one of my biggest setbacks was actually, realizing I wasn't good at football no more. You know what I mean? And I loved football so much, and I thought I was gonna play college all my, my whole 4 years. It's not a bad thing to pray about a career change or a passions change, right? People always ask me, what's your dream, what's your goal? And like, I'm more of a in the moment kind of person, and I hope people realize that dreams can change, right? Surely, like, when you go through life and you have these different setbacks, failures, or whatever you call it, you can switch your dreams to whatever, right? So I just think you take any setback or failure or sin and you just reroute yourself. You know what I mean? That. But that was one for sure that got me going.
And then my last question for you, brother, is what does authentic mean to you?
Sorry, let me try to give you a good answer.
Good.
I have ADHD sometimes, so sometimes my mouth goes faster than my brain. Obviously, that's why I get in trouble a lot. But authentic is a synonym for true and real and organic. Authentic means almost being unapologetic of what happens because it happened. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
If something naturally comes to fruition, if something naturally happens, if you say something, if you do something, obviously that was meant to be. So authentic means being true, organic.
I like that.
No filters, no edits, no. Obviously, I'm talking like, for examples, but to be authentic is just to be true, and if you want to even go deeper, just be unapologetically true to what you believe, think, say, or do.
I like that.
So I think authenticity is something we lack a lot in content creation. So I'm grateful for podcasts like this that kind of explore that option a little bit more. You know, I feel like I've been myself this whole podcast. You know what I'm saying? I forgot we were recording it because it's just like, just be true and just be real. That's it.
I like that. Appreciate it, bro.
No, thank you for having me on.
No worries, bro. Yeah, grateful for it.